Hi, I'm Mark Powers for This Old House. Updating a wood floor doesn't have to cost you thousands of dollars. Instead of refinishing or replacing the worn planks, jazz them up with a coat of durable paint. Try a large checkerboard pattern in light colors to give your room a cottage style, or use dark colors to make a regal entry or a retro kitchen. All you need is a framing square and some painting tools, and you'll soon have a dramatic transformation. Before you paint, gently rough up the finish and level any high spots with a 150 grit sanding sponge. Wipe the floor clean with a damp cloth and allow it to dry thoroughly. Meanwhile, cover the space beneath the doors with plastic to keep dust from blowing in while you're working. Start by painting the entire floor with a base coat of the lighter of your two colors. Begin on the opposite side of the room from a door so that you paint yourself out of the room. Cut in the edges of the floor with a paintbrush, then coat the entire field with a roller. Let the paint dry completely. If necessary, lightly sand the floor and apply a second coat. Let the paint dry at least overnight. Setting a checkered pattern on the diagonal looks dynamic and makes a room appear bigger, but the pattern will look best if it butts against the most visible walls in perfect half-square triangles. So, begin your layout on the most visible wall in the room. Estimate the number of squares you want to fit across the wall. Divide the length of the walls by that number of squares. Then mark the wall from corner to corner with the resulting measurements. Extend your marks into squares with a framing square and a straight edge. X off the squares you won't paint. Tape off the squares you do want to paint using a tape with a delicate adhesion. Remember that the tape needs to outline the squares you're painting, so it will fall on opposite sides of your layout lines as it moves from square to square. Make perfect corners by tearing the tape against a putty knife. Seal the tape to the floor by dragging the knife over the tape's edge. This will keep the paint from bleeding underneath. Clean up stray pencil lines with a damp sponge. Then lightly sand the squares and wipe them clean. To help keep paint from bleeding under the tape, cut in the edges of each square with a paintbrush. Start each stroke on the tape and pull it inward. Be careful not to push the bristles under the tape. Fill in each square with a mini roller, rolling in the direction of the floorboards. Clean up any drips or mistakes by wiping them up with a damp rag while they're still wet. Remove the tape before the paint dries so you don't take up any paint with it. Peel up and away from the paint at an angle to leave a clean edge. For high traffic areas, top the floor with a coat of water-based polyurethane. Wait a couple days before walking on the surface. Then bring in the furniture and enjoy your new floor.